Hey everyone, welcome to School of Scarlet. I'm coming to you with another message. So it's kind of an impromptu video. What I'm actually doing is I'm here picking up my daughter from cheer practice. Tomorrow is their first day of school, and she's a cheerleader, so they're preparing for a big pep rally to welcome everybody back to school tomorrow. And tomorrow is 8/8, so that is a very exciting time. It's a very significant time, and it's also significant for me too. I'm starting a new course tomorrow, so I want to welcome all my new students to that, but as well as the energies that are coming on board. So thank you so much for being here today. I have a message to share with you. So today's message is all about our path again. And so our path has really kind of changed its course in some ways. We haven't always had the things that we expected to happen and play out that way. So I told a story a while back about that I was clearing out some land that I have, and I'm making basically like this kind of campsite basically, and I want it to be very hidden. I don't want anyone to see this. I want it to be a very natural place. I don't want to get rid of any of the bigger trees. I want to keep my magnolias, all of these things. So I'm creating a certain kind of path, and when I had the contractor come out, we gave him very precise instructions of what we wanted the path and road to be for us to come in. And he didn't really listen to us. He heard us, but he didn't do that, and we were quite puzzled, didn't understand. And for like a week later, we thought about it, but there's nothing we could do about it. The land had already been cleared. So we went back last Sunday, and what we noticed was it was the perfect path that we had never even envisioned. And our land basically tripled in size because he created one spot where we park our car to like the right, then another spot where you take like a path to basically a campfire area, then another path to the campsite where we sleep and we have our camper and everything. And so everything had its own space, and then we had our water access, and then we looked and we went outside of the spots, all the way outside of our path, and we looked in and we noticed no one could look in. It ended up being more private than we could have ever imagined. And then everything was perfect. We had, that was a better plan than we could have thought of. So that's what's coming through today, is that we have some plans for ourselves. We have, these ideas of what we want for ourselves. We may have dreams, goals, visions, and we know what that is, and we may set that plan out. But what ends up happening might be completely different. What ends up happening might be even better, and it usually is better. So that's what's coming through. There is a Bible verse in Proverbs around this, and you can comment down below if you know exactly what it is, please. But it is around Proverbs, and it talks about how us as humans, we make our dreams, our path through our heart, but God, Lord, Source, the divine, directs our steps. So we have it in our heart what we want. We know like what makes us happy, the joyful things in life, all these things that we want to do, and the things that inspire us more and we want to move towards more. So that's deposited in our heart. That's there. We have that there. We know that. But the steps that unfold for that to happen are completely unknown. So we have to be humble. We have to kind of sit back and allow for these things to unfold in the divine timing that they do. So that's the message that's coming through right now. The other thing about that property is that when I went to where the lake is, it was covered in lotus flowers, lily pads everywhere, lotus flowers everywhere. And I've added some of that into my shorts video, so y'all can go check that out. I will add another one in here to link to this video as well. But a lotus is actually a symbol for this, for, the changes that one undergoes. A lotus begins way down under there in the mud. In the mud is where it begins. And it has to make its way up to find the light. And even when it gets out of that mud, all that nasty mud and whatever's down there, it comes into this murky, dark water, and it has to kind of be in there, and then it's still trying to make its way up. And as it makes its way up to find the light, that's when it continues to grow. And in due time, it blossoms, okay? It blossoms into a lotus flower, which is a symbol for something very beautiful coming out from the mud. And one of my best friends has a tattoo of the lotus flower on her for that symbol. And so it's a very kind of divine symbol as well. So that might be speaking to someone. So I kind of just wanted to bring that forth. I also want to share a story about the woman with the two pots. You may or may not have heard this story. I've heard this story a few times, and I think it's kind of appropriate to share it. But she was a woman who went down to the well or the river, wherever, to get her water. And she would carry on a stick on her back like this to basically balls, or you would call them kind of like containers, right? Water jugs or whatever, but they were in the shape of basically a ball. She would carry them on her back, go down, fill each one with water, and come back up with her water that she would use. And what ended up happening was that one of the containers was actually broke. It was broken in the middle, and it would only really carry enough water. It would be full to the top, but as she would carry it up the mountain, half of that water would drip out along the way. And so this container thought to itself, oh, I'm no good. I can't contain all this water. I'm broken. I'm damaged. I'm damaged goods. I can't do this job like the other container. And so one day that container, the broken one, asked the woman, why do you continue to fill me up to all the way full when I drop out all the water? I'm broken. I'm no good. I'm not like the other container on the other end. And she says to the container, watch. So she fills up both with water, and she goes up the mountain, and she says, look that way to the right, look down. She said, as you're dropping that water, everywhere you're dropping that water, there are flowers. Now look on the other side. There is no water being dropped, and there are no flowers. She said, I noticed that you were dropping water, and I know how much I love flowers. So I put some seeds down so that when I come up, you water my flowers. And you have been doing an amazing job, and my flowers are beautiful, and they bring me so much joy. So this story might be significant to someone. We don't know why we have the cracks in us, or have those broken spots, or any of those things within us. We don't know why things happen the way they happen, but at some point we realize that it's all come together for exactly the perfect reason. And so I think we can all look back on our lives and realize different things that have happened, the detours that we've taken, the mistakes we can have perceived as mistakes, and maybe even shame and things along the way. But if we really look at everything that happened, it has led up to this moment. It has led up to exactly who you are. And you are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. And every aspect of you has been beautiful. You have been doing everything from your heart. Even when you've taken those detours, you've done it from the heart. And so this is just a celebration to you that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Keep going. Don't let anything detour you from anything else. And even if you get detoured, don't feel bad about that. Everything that is happening exactly how it should. There is nothing out of place here. There is nothing wrong, and there is nothing to fear. Just keep on one step in front of the other, as you know that the divine is guiding your steps. See, the intelligence of the divine takes into account everything in this universe, not just what your pea-sized brain takes into account. Because when you make plans, when you sit down and you write down your goals, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, that's really great, but you're using all that you know within your own mind. And the divine that you connect with is using absolutely everything in this universe. So when your plans get changed, when things get, kind of switched up on you, realize that the divine is working in that. And that plan may be completely different than what you thought, but it's going to end you up exactly where you need to be. So trust, have faith, just allow this to happen. Sit back like a child, enjoy. So the last thing I want to leave you with is basically the nagging thing that has been kind of pushing me to make this message all day. And it's kind of ironic. I'm here picking up my daughter. I have tried to film this video earlier today, but my mic wasn't working right, and it was just really, really bad sound. So I ended up not using it. So this is my last attempt to really get this message out to you, and I'm really hoping that it'll all come together. But all day long, I've been hearing change of plans, change of plans. And where did this come from? Well, when my daughter was really little, around 2 or 3 years old, we were waiting for her grandparents. We had both sets of grandparents coming to visit. We were going to go out to eat or do some sort of plan. And then the other set of grandparents called or something and said that they couldn't do what we were wanting to do. They were wanting to do something different. I don't remember what the plan was, but the plans changed. And it was a bit inconvenient to change the plans. As you know, once you have plans, you don't really want to change them. But my daughter didn't see it that way. She had that childlike nature. So instantly she heard that her grandparents wanted to do something different or whatever. She was excited because regardless, she was going to be part of it. So what did she say? In a joyful voice, she ran around saying, change of plans, change of plans. And that's all I heard all day long today. And so this message is coming through for someone that change of plans does not mean something bad, does not mean something dreadful. It can be joyful. You're still in the game. So continue on, one step in front of the other. I hope that this message found you well. If it resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below. I love responding to all y'all's comments and receiving them, and I'm just so full of love from all of y'all. Thank you for your donations and all your support. It is so appreciated. I love you all.